Hi, and welcome back to the IU Indianapolis Graduate School podcast. My name is Meg Markarian. I am a graduate assistant for the graduate school and for the University Writing Center. And today I am joined by Dr. Hardy. Hello, hello. She is the Assistant Vice Provost for Graduate Education. She's got a million and one titles. But what we want to focus on today is the fact that you are the Director of PFFP, or Preparing Future Faculty and Professionals. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to chat with you guys. As you mentioned, stands for Preparing Future Faculty and Professionals.
Yes.
And this really encompasses all of what we hope our students are going to be, right? Because right now you're in grad school, but you're doing this because you want to get a job.
Yeah.
And so we want to focus on those soft skills and practical application and how you might want to move that into your career. So we've done a lot of work to encompass not only academic positions, but also if you're thinking about a non-academic role, what you could do with that too.
Awesome. That sounds like a really needed program as
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those underutilized programs. I wish students would tap into it a bit more. And even if you decide not to complete the program, just showing up for a workshop or popping in for our one-day annual conference could be really useful.
Yeah, it sounds like the utility is evident. Absolutely. So what kinds of events and activities or workshops do you provide?
Yeah, so we provide, as a program, we provide monthly workshops,
Okay.
and it could be on any topic. We usually start out with our orientation, and that just tells you a good overview of the program. But then we also talk a little bit about networking. We might talk about job skills. We may talk about interviewing, internships. So any variation of any type of topic that may deal with your professional work or you as a professional as you move forward could be a topic. And we often ask our students what is of interest to them so we can get their feedback and design some workshops around that also. So we've done things that have included our mentoring center and talked about effective mentoring. We've also talked about preparing for an interview that involves a meal. Because what you don't want to do is get there and not know what fork to use, right?
Right. Or order a burger.
Yeah.
Get all messy.
Yeah,
No, thank
exactly.
you. No, thank you. That sounds, especially as somebody who's entering into the workforce, to me, that sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
So are there any specific criteria that you have to meet for PFFP?
So what we ask is that you are a graduate student or a postdoc, and that's really it. So outside of that, you will need to complete an application. With the application, we ask that you have a letter of recommendation from a faculty member. Doesn't have to be your primary mentor. It could be any faculty mentor. But what we ask you to do is fill that out. I never said, no, you cannot join PFFP. What I might do is suggest or have someone redo your letter of recommendation because we needed to specifically say, this is a letter of recommendation for the PFFP program.
God.
So we've had some people that have sent those letters of recommendation. It was more general. I was like, no, but more general.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's about it. And after that, we add you to our Canvas course. We give you access to our program plan, which includes a lot of different workshops from lots of different resources, which is really excellent. And you get to self-pace and choose what is of best interest to you.
Oh, wow. So it's not just like a prescriptive program. It's really kind of what you make it. What you put in is what you're going to get out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think you'll learn that when you talk to some of our program participants, that they're able to make it what they really want to. And we have some requirements that you need to do a few hours in teaching and some that fall into our very broad category like research, organizational service, and professional development. And almost anything fits under that umbrella.
Absolutely.
So it definitely can be what you tailor it to be. And that's one of the things that I think is really unique and beneficial and special about PFFP is because you really are able to make it your own experience.
Right.
If you don't have an interest in doing a chalk talk, I mean, you don't have to go to that session. Don't do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can choose something else and benefit from that
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So how would you say PFFP has shaped you personally as a graduate educator? Because obviously we can talk about how it shaped all of our students, but for you
Yeah.
personally, what meaning have you found in it?
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't know is that a long time ago, Dr. Hardy went through a version of the PFFP program.
Okay.
At that time, it was called PFF, and it was really just based on you being a faculty member. But what we already know is that most of us are not going to graduate and become faculty members. Some will, yay for them. But for the folks that decide to go into non academic positions, then that is another specific role that we need to also address. For me, what's been cool is getting to know my students a lot better, getting to network with them, getting to collaborate with all of these really awesome offices. We collaborate with our library, we collaborate with our CTL, our Center for Teaching and Learning. We collaborate with our Graduate Mentoring Center. So, getting to collaborate with those folks and getting to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
We've worked with our ePortfolio studios. So, lots of different areas that we can reach out to, and they may be resources that our students aren't really aware of or aware that they can utilize.
Absolutely. Especially the ePortfolio studio. I can totally see the use of that.
Mhm.
That's awesome. So, what would you say to students who are on the fence about joining PFFP? Maybe they're like, I've heard about it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would say it's free. So why not join, right? Why not do it? It's free. It's a professional development opportunity for you. It's very flexible. You can do it on your own time when you want to. There are some virtual parts of it that you can do, at home, and you can have that are asynchronous that you can, when you're lounging around and you can just have it on and start thinking about what topics you have an interest in. So I would say go for it because it is one of those programs that's very flexible. That's up to you that you can engage in as much or as little as you want to. I've had people that have finished the program in a semester,
Wow.
and I've had folks that have started it and then taken a break and then came back and finished it. So it's really up to you.
Yeah. When you said it's do it at your own pace, it really is do it at your own pace. That's awesome. So, is there a recommended timeline or starting point for students who aren't sure where to start within the program plan? So, thinking about that program plan that you had talked about earlier, is there like a recommendation of where to start if they're unsure?
I would say start with the orientation and say, hey, it gives you that big overview, right,
Mhm.
of what the program is and what it's about. And for attending it, you get credit towards pro towards the program completion.
What's up? There's so many P's.
Yeah, so many P's. Uh, but I think that's where I would tell people to start. And actually, that's online too. So you can review that. You don't even have to wait for us to have our fall orientation. You could just view it online
Yeah.
and say, maybe I'll go to a workshop or two. No commitment there.
Yeah.
I also think one of the events that is like um, really great is our annual conference, our PFFP Pathways Conference. It features our 3-minute thesis competition, and so that is a really cool event. But we also have alumni workshops there. We have an alumni panel there so that you can hear from them and other workshops. So I would say that would be a good one to attend also.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So how do you recommend students keep themselves motivated as they progress? Because it's a big program, right? And there's a lot of do it yourself. You can kind of build it on your own.
Right.
But how do you stay motivated within that?
Yeah, so I'd like to tell people to sometimes it helps to connect, right?
Mm.
And so maybe you've been doing a lot more virtually. So why not come in for a session and connect with people and connect and reflect, right? So connect with the folks that are participating, network a bit, also reflect on why you joined the program in the first place. You had some professional goals. How can we help you tap into those? And how can you stay motivated while you're trying to achieve those?
Right.
So I think those two things kind of help to think about okay, our grad students are amazing, number one, but we know you got lots of stuff going on.
Yes.
So I think just taking the time to think about okay, this is a priority for me. This is what I wanted to do, and this is why. And hey, this topic aligns with what I want to do next. So maybe I should go ahead and go and attend this little 1-hour workshop, right?
And having an accountability buddy, like you said, somebody maybe who's interested in that workshop just as you are.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Free food doesn't hurt either.
No, it does not. No, it does not. And a graduate student's belly is never empty.
That part.
So are there any specific programs, offices, or recurring workshops you recommend students prioritize as they select activities from the plan?
Yeah, so I mentioned our annual Pathways Conference. I think that one is a good one. We have great workshops provided by our Graduate Mentoring Center. They do a mentor training that's going to happen in the fall semester. That will knock out about half of your PFFP credits right there.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
And honestly, the PFFP program, the way it's set up is it's really about 12 physical hours, which is like a day and a half of work.
Gotcha.
So you don't necessarily have to take a course or be engaged in something that's for 3 semesters long, but you can do that. But you don't have to do that in order to complete this program. Our CTL does some things on teaching and learning, and so if that is a thought that you're having that maybe I'm interested in teaching, that would be great to sit in on some of those workshops. I had a student that participated a few years ago, and she was like, Dr. Hardy, I really thought I was interested in teaching until I went to a few of these workshops. And then I was like, I don't know, this is what I want.
But it's like she could explore within PFFP.
Exactly. And getting that exposure is key, right? Because what you don't want to do is be stuck in a job and then you're like, oh, you know what? I don't think I like this that much.
I know. Yeah, and it's important to have that room to explore. I love that PFFP provides that.
Yep, absolutely, for sure.
Awesome. Well, as we're starting to wrap up here, are there any closing points you want to make to students who maybe, like I said, are considering it, or even to students who are in it and might need like a little bit of Dr. Hardy motivation? Or
Yes. Okay. So for the people who are thinking about it on the fence, I would say talk to me, talk to our graduate assistant, talk to a program participant, and ask whatever questions you may have. You can certainly reach out to us. Our email address is pffp@iu.edu. Really easy. So do reach out to us and find us there. Also, for the people who are in the program and want a little bit of extra motivation, Dr. Hardy is working on getting us a little extra swag, but also, as you complete it, you get your own certificate and you get a badge that you can link to your LinkedIn profile that ties people back to PFFP as our program. So you can post that. You can have it at the bottom of your signature or seeing people do that. And that's really cool. Yeah, I know. That's really Yes, right. So we'll do our orientation in the fall. I don't know if I have the date set for it, but it's usually in the first month in September. Well, you know how you can find out about it? How attend our graduate student mixer. There you go. Oh, there you go. You can plug. Do that. Our graduate mixer is September 4th. And so there you can find out about a lot of different resources because we'll have a resource fair. So please join us then.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr.
It'll be at Taylor Courtyard for 4 to 6.
And I've attended the graduate student mixer. It's a lot of
good time.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yep. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Dr.
No problem.
About PFFP. You can find all of that information in the description box below. And yeah, have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.